Working on boxing March 3rd, 1971. Ali Frazier won one of the finest fighters of his generation. Won the Madison Square Garden welterweight championship. The man who was beating the hitman, none other than Harold Weston, the first African-American black Negro in matchmaking history of boxing.
How you feeling, Mel?
Okay, look at the camera.
How you feeling, Mel?
I'm right. I told the truth, didn't I?
I guess you did.
No.
I am black.
Oh, yeah. And you were the first matchmaker. Harold, that was the greatest fight in the history of mankind. Not of the century, but of the history of mankind.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was one of the fights that nobody could ever predict it because we got to understand, we never had two world heavyweight champions that was undefeated. Them beat everybody in the division. It had to be for them to fight. So, I mean, it was one unbelievable fight that they made. And the fact is that it stood up to what it was, one of the greatest fights of all time.
Harold, also you had an integral part in that because integral part, you were part of a demonstration prior to the Ali fight where you were Ali, but you was betting on Joe.
Well, yeah, I didn't know at the time, but the fact is that they were trying to get the lighting for the screening of the fight because they wanted to make everything go perfect that night because it was the first time they ever did a pay-per-view like that. So it worked out real well. I mean, I went 15 rounds and I got paid for it, and I bet it on Frazier, and everything went well. So I got double my money for the situation.
And you had 2 tickets to the fight.
I was right there.
and you're funny, you saying you were fighting, and Ali screaming down, Joe, no, that's not me. What did you do, Harold?
Well, the thing was, Ali was in the building at the time. They couldn't let him out the building because there was so many people outside. So what they did, they made a room upstairs for him to stay. So he happened to come downstairs in the arena, and that's when he saw me boxing, and we were going through our 15 rounds, and he started screaming. So it was a lot of fun. It really was.
Hector Camacho.
What about him? What about him?
Talk about him, Harold.
I mean, he's a good little fighter. He was a great little fighter. I mean, I love the guy to death. He was a great fighter. He did what he was supposed to do, and there's nothing more you can say. He did what he's supposed to do as a champion. Could have been greater.
Harold, in today's market, heavyweights are, as Marion Boykin says, our producer and legendary founder, perpetrating a fraud. There's nobody out there that's really serious or really that good, is it?
Well, I got to agree with him, and I got to say one thing. I don't even look at fights that much, so it don't make no difference to me. Like it used to be.
The consensus is that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is the best fighter in the world, pound for pound. Your assessment of that consensus?
Most definitely, yeah. Most definitely.
Why?
Because he's got all the skills. And there's nobody out there. So that's what the whole thing's about. And he started when he was little, so that was the whole key point.
Doc Stanley working on blocking March 8, 1971. Harold Weston, you were there.
I was there. There's no question about it.
Thanks a lot, Harold.
Thanks, Mel.